Hey kids, welcome to Sabbath School!
Good morning everyone. Thank you for joining us for Sabbath School today. It's a beautiful day and I'm glad that we can be together and praise and worship God. Well, today I'm thankful for the great big world that God made just for us. You know, God made everything in our world just for us to enjoy. Isn't that cool? Yeah? Let's sing our song about that, how God made everything. God made everything, big and small, tiny and tall. God made everything, yes, He made it all. God made everything, big and small, tiny and tall. God made everything, yes, He made it all. Today I want to talk about God's big plan. Way back before our world was made, God had a plan. He thought, I want to make a world. I want to make a special place, and I want to make people to live there. People that can love and serve me, and people that I can enjoy spending time with. So God started thinking about this world. He developed the best plan, and He was ready. He decided that He was going to make the world in 7 days. Each day He would make something special, and when He was done, He would have a beautiful world full of people for Him to enjoy. Well, on day 1, God decided the first thing to do was light. Have you ever used a flashlight? When you turn a flashlight on in a dark room, suddenly you see light. Well, that's kind of the way it was way back then when God made light. God spoke the word, let there be light, and voila, the light turned on. We're going to say a little poem together. I'd like to teach it to you. It goes something like this. You can say it with me, and when we get to the part where you turn on the light, if you have a flashlight, you could turn it on with us. It goes like this. In the beginning, God created the day and the night. God turned on the light in the middle of the night, and that was the very first day. Let's try that again. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. He turned on the light in the middle of the night, and that was the very first day. And God said, let there be light up in the sky, let there be light. And God said, let there be light, and it was so, was so. When God finished creating the light, it was day 1. He looked at what He had made, and He said, yes, it is good. Our Bible tells us that everything God made was good. We're going to learn that verse this week. Let's do that together. Say, everything God made was good! Now it was time for day 2. On day 2, God split the air. He made air up on top, and He made water down below. Let's think about air for a minute. Have you ever blown air out of your mouth? Maybe if you hold your hand, you can feel the air blowing. Maybe in the summer you have a fan that blows cool air in your face and it feels so good. Well, it was day 2 where God made that air. Have you ever looked and seen a windmill with its long blades and they spin around in the wind? We're going to do a little finger play together, and I want to see if you can do it with me. It goes like this. Fast wind makes the windmill fast, and you're going to go around like this, like you're a windmill, and go really fast. And then slow wind makes the windmill slow. So you're going to go slow like this. And then no wind makes the windmill stop. So blow, wind, blow. So that's how it goes. Let's try it together, okay? Get ready. Get your hands ready to spin in the wind, just like the windmill. Fast wind makes the windmill fast. Slow wind makes the windmill slow. No wind makes the windmill stop. So blow, wind, blow. Usually we can't see air very well. But with our bubbles, we can see what the air does. Air takes up space, and we can fill up our bubble with air. Can you see this bubble fill with air? Look how big that bubble is. It's all full of the air that God made. It helps us see the air. Do you like to play with bubbles? If you have bubbles, maybe you can play at home. You could play with us right now, or maybe in the afternoon you could go outside and play with bubbles. All right, I have some bubbles. Let's play. Bubbles, bubbles, I like to play with bubbles. Jesus must like pretty things because he made the bubbles. Bubbles, bubbles, I like to play with bubbles. Jesus must like pretty things because he made the bubbles.
Good job.
At the end of day 2, when God looked at the air and the water that he had made, he said, yes, it is good. Can you say the Bible verse with me? Ready? Everything God made was good! On day 3, God had a good plan. The first thing he made was dry land. So there were mountains and valleys, beautiful dry land. And on that land, the grass started to grow, and the trees and the flowers. Right here I have some beautiful flowers. These are lilies that grow right here in my yard. And they're so beautiful. I love the flowers that God gave us. I'm thinking of a song, and you can sing it with me. It goes like this. The flowers are gently nodding, nodding, nodding. The flowers are gently nodding, showing God's great love. The flowers are gently nodding, nodding, nodding. The flowers are gently nodding, showing God's great love. It was still day 3, and God wasn't finished yet. He had made all the pretty flowers for us to enjoy. He also made big, tall trees to give us shade on a hot summer day. Big, tall trees to make a home for the squirrels and the bunnies. And he also made food. Food for the animals, food for the people. Can you think of a food, maybe a fruit or a vegetable that God made that you really enjoy?
Strawberries!
Strawberries. Oh, they're so juicy and sweet. Watermelon, that's good on a hot summer day too. I have some fruits and vegetables in my bowl. Do you want to reach in and grab one? Oh, what did you find?
Not tomato, orange.
An orange, that's right. Oh, yummy. What do you see in my bowl? Grab one. What is that one?
Tomato.
A tomato. And look what I found. I found an ear of corn. All these things that God made are so good, aren't they? I want to teach you a song. This world is full of yummy food, yummy food, yummy food. This world is full of yummy foods. God made it so. God made it so. God made it so. This world is full of yummy foods. God made it so. At the end of day 3, God looked at everything that he had made. And what does our Bible tell us? What does our Bible say? Do you remember our verse? It says, everything God made was good! It was time for day 4. And on day 4, God had a really good plan. He made the big round sunshine high up in the sky. Today it's a hot sunny day. Whoo, I can feel that sun keeping us warm. And at night, he put the moon up in the sky to give us a little light and the twinkly stars so bright. I am glad God gave us the sun, the moon, and the stars. Let's sing a song about that. God made the moon to shine at night. He made the twinkling stars so bright. God made the big round shining sun. God made the children everyone. Let's do that again. God made the moon to shine at night. He made the twinkling stars so bright. God made the big round shining sun. God made the children everyone. On day 5, God had another great plan. He had made the plants and the trees and the beautiful land and everything, but it was all empty. He needed some birds to be up in the sky. He needed some what's this one?
Macaw.
Some macaws to sing in the trees. What's this one right here?
An owl.
An owl. What does the owl say?
Caw, caw.
Hoo, 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 hoo. Oh, and maybe some big, strong ostriches. They can run really fast, but they don't fly. Or a flamingo. The flamingo is a fun bird you might find in Africa, or maybe you'll see them in the zoos. Or maybe little songbirds that sing in the trees. Tweet, tweet, tweetle, tweet, tweet, tweet. We're going to pretend that our birdies are flying. If you have a bird at your house, you can just kind of make it fly in the sky, or maybe you could use your arms and flap your wings like a bird while we sing our song, okay? We're going to sing, I like to see the birdies fly, flying high, flying low. Can you make your birds fly?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. Ready? I like to see the birdies fly, flying high, flying low. I like to see the birdies fly. Jesus made them, I know. Oh, hello. I like to see the birdies fly, flying high, flying low. I like to see the birdies fly. Jesus made them, I know. God liked the birds that he had made, but he wasn't done yet. He looked at the water. The water still seemed empty. What could he make to go in the water? Fish, that's right. Can you put your hands together like a little fish? We're going to do a little finger play. We'll make some gills on the top. You can wiggle your thumbs and we'll wiggle our fish to swim like this. Little fish goes out to play, wiggles his fins and swims away. Swims and swims in the water bright, opens his mouth and takes a bite. Yum! Let's do that again. Little fish goes out to play, wiggles his fins and swims away. Swims and swims in the water bright, opens his mouth and takes a bite. Yum! When God looked at what he had made, the birds and the fish that he had made on day 5, he said, yes, this is very good, because everything God makes is good. It was time for day 6. On day 6, God had a good plan. He thought, oh, I've made a wonderful world, but I just need some more fun things to see. And he thought of animals. He made all kinds of animals for us to enjoy. He used his mouth and he just said, let there be animals. And all of a sudden there were. We're going to sing a song together. And as we get to the middle, we'll think of some animals that we know and enjoy and talk about them, okay? Let's try that. Animals, animals, Jesus made the animals, great big animals, little tiny animals, 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 Jesus made the animals. Here is an animal that I know. What animal is this? It's a puppy dog. Does anybody have a puppy dog at their house? Oh, dogs are so much fun. They love to bark, they get happy and they wag their tails, and they're so happy to see you. Let's see, I might be able to find another animal in here. What else did God make on day 6? You might find this animal at the farm. What is this? It's the pink pig. Oh, pigs are such funny animals. They make such a funny noise. Can you make a pig noise? That's a funny noise, isn't it? Let's sing our song again. Animals, animals, Jesus made the animals. Great big animals, little tiny animals. Animals, animals, Jesus made the animals. Here is an animal that I know. Oh, I have another animal. This one's a puppet animal. Let me put it on my hand here. Oh, what's this? That's right, it's a tiger. When Jesus made the tiger, he gave him nice little stripes on his body. It helps him be able to hide in the jungle so that the other animals don't see him. What else do I have? Oh, this one might live where it's cold and snowy. He's wearing a t-shirt. A real one wouldn't wear a t-shirt. But this is a moose. You might find a moose in places like Alaska, maybe even northern Minnesota or Montana or something. He's a very big animal, even bigger than the deer that we sometimes see here. Let's sing our song again. Animals, animals, Jesus made the animals. Great big animals, little tiny animals. Animals, animals, Jesus made the animals. Here is an animal that I know. I have one more animal in my bag. What's this one? Oh, it's a funny little monkey. Monkeys are so fun to watch. They might swing in the trees and they make such funny sounds. Can you make a monkey sound? They're pretty fun to watch. When I go to the zoo, I like to listen to the monkey sounds and watch them play. They're so much fun. Do you have a favorite animal? Maybe you like elephants or giraffes. Maybe lions. Maybe you like kitty cats. There are so many animals that God made for us to enjoy. Why did he make these animals? Why, it's because he loves us. Remember, it's day 6, and God has made all these animals for us to enjoy. But he had one more plan for day 6. This was the best plan of all. And now he was ready. He had animals and birds and fish, sunshine and twinkling stars. He had air and water and land and trees and flowers. So many things for us to enjoy. Now God was ready to make people. He did this a little different than he did the other ones. For this one, he leaned down into the dirt and he got some dirt and he started molding and shaping. And he shaped it into the shape of a man. And when he breathed into the man, it became alive. And it was the very first man to ever live in our world. His name was Adam. And God loved Adam very much. And Adam loved God. Not long after, he made Eve. And they were the very first people. You know, many years later, God made you too. And he loves you just as much as he loved them back then. When you look in the mirror, what do you see? You see a reflection of your face. You see a picture of you. When you see that picture of you, you can remember that you were made in God's image. You were made very special. Let's sing a song about that, okay? Maybe you have a mirror you want to look in and you can see the special face that God created just for you. I'm special, so special, I'm special as can be. I am special, God made me. I'm special, so special, I'm special as can be. I am special, God made me. And you know, boys and girls, I am so glad that he made you just the way you are, because you really are special and wonderful. Everything that God made on day 6 was so wonderful. In our Bible, it tells us that everything God made was good. I didn't jump up, did I? Well, now it was time for day number, how many is this?
7.
Day number 7. On day number 7, God had the best plan of all. He had made this wonderful world full of animals, beautiful things, and people. And on day 7, you know what God created? He created a day of rest, a day to stop all of our work and just to spend time with God. Isn't that pretty special?
Yes.
Do you know what we call the 7th day?
Sabbath.
That's right, it's called the Sabbath, and God made the Sabbath a very happy day. Can you sing the Happy Day song with me and clap our hands?
Yes.
Yeah? Let's sing it together.
Sabbath is a happy day. Happy day. Happy day.
Sabbath
Is a happy day. I love every Sabbath.
Let's do it again. Sabbath is a happy day. Happy day. Happy day. Sabbath is a happy day. I love every Sabbath. I am so glad that God loved us so much that He gave us our great big world to enjoy. I am so glad He loved us enough to give us the Sabbath day so that we can spend time and be with Jesus, worship Him and praise Him. And someday when we get to heaven, we'll be able to spend Sabbath with Jesus, right there with Him. Won't that be nice? Well, you know, boys and girls, when God created our world, everything was so perfect, so nice. It was just the way He intended it to be. But unfortunately, it didn't stay that way. Because of Satan, Satan ruined God's plan. Satan brought sin to our world, and things started to not be so perfect. But all was not lost because God had a plan. In our story today, baby Jesus was coming to our world. Jesus came to our world because He loved us so much. And we're going to start learning the stories about when Jesus came and taught us about God, taught us about heaven, taught us about His love for us. Let's bow our heads and pray. Dear Jesus, we thank You for our special Bible story time. We thank You for loving us so much. We love You too, Jesus. Amen. Well, our story today happened a long time ago. It happened at a time when God's people were expecting to have the Messiah come. And, you know, Jesus was that Messiah, the promised one who came to save the people. Jesus wanted to save the people from their sins, from all the bad things that Satan had done in our world. And so when the time was right, Jesus came. He came as a little baby. Now, you might expect the King of the whole universe, Jesus, to come and live and be born in maybe a fancy palace or, you know, something fit for a king. But He didn't. He was born in Bethlehem. And there was no place for His mommy and daddy to stay that night except for the stable. A stable is kind of like a barn for the animals. Well, that's where Jesus was born. And baby Jesus was loved very much by His mommy Mary. He was loved by His Father up in heaven. And He had a helper daddy here on earth too, whose name was Joseph. Well, when it was time for Jesus to be born, Mary and Joseph had gone on a long trip all the way to Bethlehem. They'd gone riding on a donkey in order to pay taxes to Caesar. When they got there, there were many people who had come to Bethlehem to pay their taxes. So they started to knock on the doors of the inns, the hotels that they found. Joseph would knock, knock, knock. Do you have a room where we can stay for the night? No, I'm sorry, we're all full, the innkeeper would say. Finally, they found an innkeeper who said, you know what? You can stay out in the stable. And that's what they decided to do. And that night, out in the stable, baby Jesus was born. It wasn't a fancy place. It wasn't anything special, but it was warm and it was dry, and baby Jesus was safe and sound. You know, when Jesus was born, the angels in heaven were so excited. God the Father up in heaven was so excited. He said, let's tell somebody. Let's send the angel choir. Tell somebody that Jesus is born. So they found a group of shepherds out in their fields. The shepherds loved God very much, and they were waiting for the Messiah to come. So the angels went to visit them. It was dark at night, and all of a sudden, the sky was lit up with the bright light of the angels. And at first, those shepherds, they were afraid. But the angel said, do not be afraid. I have good news. Baby Jesus has been born on this very night. He is born in Bethlehem. Go look for him in the stable. You will find him wrapped in swaddling clothes. He'll be laying in that manger, the little feeding trough for the animals. Oh, the shepherds were so excited. They jumped up and they ran to Bethlehem. They wanted to see this Messiah, this baby Jesus who had been born, the baby that had been promised for so many years. And when they got there, it was just like the angels had said. The baby was wrapped in swaddling cloths and lying in the manger, and oh, he was a beautiful baby. They didn't care that it was a stable. They were just excited. The angel had said that this was baby Jesus, and they were excited to see him. They bowed down and they worshiped that baby Jesus. And then they hurried away. They wanted to tell others what they had seen and what they had heard. You know, Jesus had kept his promise to come, and they were so happy to have seen him. Aren't you happy that Jesus came as a baby? Jesus left his beautiful home in heaven to be born in a stable here on our earth. Why do you suppose he came to our world? Well, it was because he loves us so very much, and he wanted to save us from sin. He wanted to make it possible for us to be with him in heaven someday. I am so glad that Jesus came, and I am so glad that Jesus loves us so much. Our memory verse for this week was something the angel told Mary when he told her she was going to have a baby. He said, "You shall call his name Jesus." And that's found in our Bibles in Matthew chapter 1, verse 21. Can you say that with me? You shall call his name Jesus. One more time. You shall call his name Jesus. Matthew 1, verse 21. Well, boys and girls, thank you for joining me for Sabbath school today. It's been so wonderful learning about how God made our world for us and about how baby Jesus came to our world because he loves us so much. You know, Jesus is up in heaven now, and he's watching over us, and he still loves us very much, and that can make us so happy on this beautiful Sabbath day. Have a great day. Goodbye.